Does anyone think that the luxurious home of top celebrity Tan Songyun has a terrifying dark side? The multi-billion residence that is often the talk of the public because of its luxury and elegance turns out to have a horror story that has been tightly covered by the owner. Recently, senior actor Xui Kai caused an uproar in the entertainment world after boldly revealing that Tan Songyun's mansion is shrouded in a mystical aura and filled with gripping apparitions that often disturb every guest who visits. How could a luxurious home with a contemporary design and opulent interiors be home to invisible entities? This shocking statement immediately sparked the anger of Tan Songyun, who has been known as a calm figure and maintains a perfect image in the public eye. In an exclusive interview obtained by our media, Tan Songyun finally opened up and confirmed the truth of the rumors, albeit with a very different version of the story revealed by Xui Kai. "I never intended to hide anything from the public. It was just a privacy issue that was suddenly exaggerated," Tan Songyun said in a shaky tone when asked about the truth of the rumors. Who would have thought that a woman who has been a role model in the entertainment world because of her brilliant achievements would now have to face a major controversy that threatens her career? How can the story of this old house that was renovated into a luxurious palace hold such a terrifying dark story that makes Xui Kai dare to risk her friendship with Tan Songyun? The beginning of the luxury residence mystery. For years, Tan Songyun was known as one of Asia's leading actresses who had a brilliant career and a near-perfect personal life. Her luxurious home has been featured in many interior design magazines, with its architecture combining modern and classical Chinese elements. No one would have guessed that behind the opulence and beauty lies a story that is far from the glamorous image that has been displayed so far. The controversy began when Xui Kai, a veteran actor who has a long-standing friendship with Tan Songyun, was a guest on the popular talk show Celebrity Secrets, broadcast last week. During a casual segment that was supposed to discuss their latest projects, Xui Kai made a shocking confession that left the studio speechless. "You know, I really admire Songyun in many ways, especially her courage to live in such a big and grand house alone, considering the history of the house," Xui Kai said with an unusually serious expression. "I still remember how I first visited there for our movie project meeting and felt something was off." The interested host dug deeper, and that's when Xui Kai began to recount his gripping experience. According to him, during his stay at Tan Songyun's residence, he felt the sensation of being watched. The room temperature suddenly dropped dramatically, and strange, inexplicable noises. "I once saw the shadow of a woman in a white dress passing quickly in the hallway leading to the kitchen, even though there was only me, Songyun, and his personal assistant at home. When I asked, Songyun just smiled slightly and said, 'Oh, that's just one of my old friends who lived here before me,'" Xui Kai recalled with a shudder. "I thought he was joking at first, but his calm demeanor gave me chills." This confession sparked a furor on social media. Within hours, the hashtags #HouseAnchorTanSongyun and #XuiKaiBonkerahasia became trending topics. Thousands of netizens began sharing speculations and digging up information about the history of the building that is now Tan Songyun's luxurious residence. Some investigative media later revealed that the house was indeed built on a century-old structure. The building was the former residence of a prominent family that suffered a mysterious tragedy in the 1940s, where all family members were found dead under suspicious circumstances. Although the building was later completely renovated and changed ownership several times, the mystical stories about the place never really disappeared among the local residents. Tan Songyun is known to have bought the property 5 years ago at a price rumored to be far below market value, despite being located in an elite area. He then spent a lot of money to completely renovate the building into a modern home with a touch of luxury that is now often featured in lifestyle magazines. Tan Songyun's anger and shocking confession. It didn't take long for Tan Songyun to react to Xui Kai's confession. In a brief statement via his social media accounts, he expressed his disappointment in friends who betray trust by sharing distorted stories for the sake of momentary popularity. While she didn't directly name Xui Kai, the public quickly understood who she was referring to. It's unfortunate when someone you trust decides to exploit that trust in public. It's even sadder when the stories shared are full of dramatization and far from the truth, Tan Songyun wrote at the time. But growing public and media pressure finally forced Tan Songyun to provide more detailed clarification. In an exclusive interview with a national television station, the 36-year-old actress looked different from her usual image. With a tired face and occasionally reddened eyes, she finally admitted that there was indeed a different energy in her home. "I would never say my house is completely normal like most houses. It's an old building that's been around for over a century. So of course there's history and energy that carries over," she explains in a low voice. But what Xui Kai said is very exaggerated and irresponsible. "My house is not haunted as he describes it. There is a big difference between a historic house with unique energy and a scary haunted house like in a horror movie." In the interview, which lasted for almost 2 hours, Tan Songyun admitted that she had indeed experienced unusual occurrences in her house. There were footstep noises at night, doors that opened on their own, and unnatural temperature changes in some areas of the house. But he insists that these are all normal phenomena that can happen in old buildings. "I bought this house because I fell in love with its architecture, with its history, with its whole character. Yes, there may be energies or entities that still live here, but they are never intrusive or malicious. It's more like sharing a space with memories of the past," she explains with a faint smile. "I even feel like they're watching over me sometimes." This confession certainly came as a big surprise to the public and the media. Who would have thought that Tan Songyun, who has been known as a rational and modern figure, would have a spiritual view of her own home? Even more surprisingly, he admitted that some guests have indeed felt a presence when visiting, but he always considers it part of the character of the house that must be respected. Xui Kai wasn't the only one who felt something, but he was the only one who chose to make a sensation out of this private matter, she added in a tone that clearly showed disappointment. Xui Kai's evidence and the investigation team's reaction after Tan Songyun's shocking confession. Xui Kai did not remain silent. In a surprise press conference, he came armed with evidence that he said corroborated the claim that Tan Songyun's house not only had different energies, but was actually home to supernatural entities. "I don't mean to defame Songyun or create a cheap sensation," she said seriously, "but I feel the public needs to know the truth, especially after some of the horrific events my team and I experienced there." Xui Kai then showed an audio recording taken when he and the production team had a meeting at Tan Songyun's residence about 3 months ago. The recording clearly showed a normal conversation that was suddenly punctuated by a mysterious whispering voice that could not be identified. Even more astonishingly, the whisper sounds like it's saying, "Get out of here," in ancient Mandarin. This is not engineering or sound effects. We have even asked for digital forensic analysis, and the results show that this footage is authentic without manipulation, Xui Kai emphasized. There are also photos taken by an interior design magazine photographer during a photo shoot at Songyun's house. The photos shown do appear normal at first glance, featuring luxurious interiors with a mix of modern and classic Chinese styles. But when zoomed in some corners of the house there are blurred shadows resembling human figures, even though according to the photographer's statement, the room was empty when the photo shoot took place. The most shocking evidence is the CCTV footage from Tan Songyun's home security system that Xui Kai somehow managed to obtain. In the footage dated 2 months ago, a white shadow can be clearly seen passing through the main hallway of the house at 3 a.m. when Tan Songyun was out of town filming.